Welcome back to the For the Win podcast. This is the greatest gaming podcast in the world. We're going to talk about everything going on in video games this week. Dr. Disrespect, he wants a Mortal Kombat character. Rockstar Vice President Ryder retires after 16 years. Wait, he leaves after 16 years. And iShowSpeed got on his knees right in front of the Twitch CEO and begged him to unban him. Lots going on this week, and we're going to talk about it. I got John, I got Henry, and this podcast is sponsored by us. Go on Spotify, go on Instagram, go on TikTok, follow us there, rate, subscribe, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. Topic 1, though. Dr. Disrespect urges Mortal Kombat 1 developers to add him into the game as a playable fighter. After watching the trailer on a stream, giving it a 4 out of 5 stars, viewers began to ask when Doc would be added to the game, and the popular streamer was in agreement that he should be a playable character. His fatality would include a backflip in slow motion and his Lamborghini going 190 miles per hour right underneath him, smashing into his enemy. Do we like the idea of Doc being in Mortal Kombat? I could see it. If there was going to be a game he would be in, his character, I think Mortal Kombat could be a win. 6'2", 100-inch vertical leap. No?
No.
Henry, you're our resident Mortal Kombat expert. Has there been crossovers and characters put into Mortal Kombat that aren't mainline?
Yeah. There's been it's actually kind of a staple now of them having like ridiculous crossover characters. Like starting MK9, they had like Freddy Krueger and MKX. I believe they added in Jason and in 11. I think RoboCop is in it. There's like a ton of them, and like it's been a thing, but like. It's been horror or science fiction since, that fits the tone of the science fiction bloody fighting game franchise. If we're just going to start throwing streamers in just because they ask pretty please on their stream, it'd be really cool.
Whoa, just streamers? He's like one of the most popular streamers of all time.
Yes, and it's not the same as RoboCop or the Terminator or Jason Voorhees. Sorry, those are like actual like cultural icons.
Whoa, Doc, I defend your honor. Okay, I defend your honor. A cultural icon, dude. He was in a freaking San Francisco 49ers on Monday Night Football commercial. I don't like as a streamer, as a gamer. He's like mainstream.
One commercial?
That one commercial versus like how many like 11 Friday the 13th movies we got like are you going to seriously look me dead in the eyes and say that James Cameron's Aliens, right? That the xenomorph from Aliens is on the same level as Dr. Disrespect?
Well, like, I don't know. With everything that's happening these days, everyone's getting a Fortnite character.
Yeah, that's a problem. Like, you say that like it's a good thing.
Well, actually, not everyone. There's probably, I think, like 5 streamers total. But
yeah, that's stupid.
Hey, everyone has opinions. Doesn't mean they're right. It's okay.
Yeah, I know, David. It's nice that you're coming to terms with that.
I defend your honor. John?
I don't think it fits. I'm kind of over these strange crossovers, this mix and match of genres and things like that. I still think like some of the best crossovers was like Soul Calibur 2, and each version had like their respective character, Soul Calibur 2 on GameCube had Link, the Xbox version had Spawn, and like those seem to like fit, you know, but just putting like celebrities into games is like not my cup of tea at all.
Well, Nicki Minaj is officially a playable character in Warzone and Modern Warfare 2. And fans are loving it. Part of me feels like, though, that these people just do this. They just want to get... I know good and well Nicki Minaj is not freaking playing Call of Duty. So, like, I don't know, man. It just seems like such a shameless cash grab. At least Doc like loves video games. You know, he loves video games. He was in game design actually for Call of Duty way back when. But like Nicki Minaj, are we and people are eating it up. It's so painful, dude. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, David. So you get it. You get the whole entire concept of putting a celebrity where they don't belong in a video game just because. So you see,
but Nicki Minaj and Doc are not the same. That's not the same. But I understand your point. I see your point. And as like someone who's like a Halo purist, you know, I would cringe extremely hard if anything like that happened in Halo. So I could totally see if people in their respective games didn't appreciate, you know, kind of it kind of muddies the water and kills the vibe. But anyways, well, I doubt it'll happen. But I mean, it'd be cool to be in a video game. Can't fault him for asking.
So it comes out on in like 2 weeks. Just looked. But yeah, I'm not bothering, especially when like you have stuff that just gets underneath my skin, like upcoming, like I forget what the pre-order bonus locks you in with, but it's like stuff that's like upcoming DLC character stuff, and it's like, bro, can we just like get a whole game?
Yeah.
Can we just get a complete game, please?
Earlier this week at the Streamy Awards, IShowSpeed got down on his knees and begged the Twitch CEO to unban him from Twitch.
I saw IShowSpeed, begging, but
yeah. So he literally goes in front of the Twitch CEO at the Streamies, who that guy is giving me major, like, I wasn't popular kid in school, in high school, but now I'm a big boss and I kind of want to hang out with all the cool kids now vibes. Because there's no reason he should even be there. He's like a fish out of water. But anyways, Speed gets down on his knees and is like, unban me. And then Kai, another massive Twitch streamer, is there. It's like, you got to unban him, man. You got to unban him. And he says, I don't have the Twitch app on my phone, man. I don't have it on my phone. He's like, you got to unban him. You got to unban him. He's like, I got a new phone. I don't have the Twitch app on it. And then they're just like laughing. I'm like, how is this even happening? What CEO is in a position like this where now the streamers are like begging them to unban? It's just so bizarre.
Does he even need Twitch? That's what I don't understand. As so many people are leaving Twitch and he's begging to be back on it.
Yeah, I don't think he needs Twitch. He actually just this week also reached, what was it, 20 million subscribers just on his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't think he needs it. I don't know if it was just like being funny or he genuinely likes Twitch better. But
maybe you see the opportunity and you go for it. It's like that's the Twitch CEO.
Yeah. Yeah. And also with these guys, you know, it's just like also all about making content, like having a moment. So I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't care about getting unbanned. He's just like, oh, this would be funny. And so let's just beg the CEO. So we'll see if he gets unbanned. That'd be pretty funny if he actually did just get unbanned. I haven't heard anything yet, but Turok 3 Remaster will complete the return of the dinosaur blasting FPS trilogy later this year. I actually went back and played Turok 64 last week, and I think it was the first game, and it was actually not bad. Not bad. I think it's a really cool idea, and I mean it's a cool world, and I think a current gen remake could be a really cool thing.
I recently, I guess 8 months ago now, it was like around Christmas time or so, I was playing through the original Turok. I got the remastered version on my PC, and it plays fine. The maps are big and you just kind of get lost a little bit, but for 1997, it's still really, really engaging. I still remember a lot of the cheat codes from the original. I never played 2 or 3, but I did play there's one on the original Xbox, or maybe it was the Xbox 360. I don't remember.
The 2008 version.
I remember that one had some flack when it
360
that one launched because of its achievements. You had to kill yourself in a multiplayer match.
That's pretty funny.
I didn't spend too much time playing Turok. I don't think I've ever played through a Turok game, but I was always very interested in them because of how gory they were.
I remember turning on the blood code in the first one to turn it green. I just thought that was neat, just to see green blood spewing out of dudes and dinosaurs.
Yeah. Fast forward to Halo CE, got the purple and orange. There's a cheat code in Serious Sam called Flower Power, and you would shoot it and just flowers just explode everywhere. That was always fun.
Yeah, I would I should pick up the remaster of 2 and 3 of Turok, because I did the first one as I replayed it. I need to finish playing through it. I got lost and stuck on a bit, so I never I think I got to World 4, maybe 5, but then you gotta kind of hop between them. It's I got farther recently than I ever did when I was a kid, because I would just get lost as a kid.
Henry, this will be of interest to you. Run and Gun Flash Classic Alien Hominid HD will come to Steam alongside a sequel. I remember the first time I ever saw Alien Hominid was at PAX. For me.
I don't think it was at...
For me, that was the first time I ever saw it.
I brought it over to your house.
But the first time...
I brought the GameCube version before that.
Well, you were probably playing it with John.
I was playing with... I remember me, John, and Russell. We were playing the... Do you remember this LAN party, John? I brought a GameCube also, and we were playing Alien Hominid. We were just playing the PDA game on it. Trying to get as far as we could on that thing.
What's the PDA game?
It was a series of mini games where it was it was supposed to be, because when you would pause the game, the alien had his PDA kind of tablet looking thing, and that was the pause menu. But you could also play a game where you were a little alien trying to escape these other things, and there was a series of it was almost a platformer kind of thing, but you were almost... I wonder if this falls under a second person game, because we know first person shooters and third person shooters, but we are playing as the alien playing the PDA, right? Because his hands are on the PDA to the point where his thumb obscures part of the screen, but when you go in that corner, his thumb moves out of the way. It's such an annoying mechanic. But
you're a little stick figure jumping around platformer.
Yeah, I didn't know they were. I didn't when I watched the trailer. I didn't see the part where they said they're getting a sequel. That's really cool because like, I really love the first Alien Hominid. This is gonna be the second time it's been re-released. The first time it got Xbox 360 re-release, which is backwards compatible on the Xbox One and Series consoles. But yeah, like very very cool. Really really looking forward to that.
We should make a list like top 5 games to play at a LAN party when like everyone's gone to bed, because we spent a lot of time playing this one, and then Twisted System from Fusion Frenzy.
Yeah, well, the Fusion Frenzy demo being on the Halo 1 disc was like a massive win, because once the LAN dies down, you just hop in the demo, don't even have to take out your disc.
Twisted System.
I remember for like Alien Hominid, I had there's the fat kids. That's literally what they're called. They're called the fat kids in this in the game, and they're ones that give you their power ups, and they are wearing a shirt with a fork on it because they're fat kids. And I had that shirt. They sold replicas of that shirt, so I had the fat kid shirt. I still have like sealed in the box, like the very rare now. Vinyl figures for all for the alien, the FBI agent, and the robot. And my signed copy of Alien Hominid on the GameCube, because John and I got to meet Tom Fulp back in 2006. So
you still have your thingamajiggies?
Somewhere I very well might have those. I forgot about those.
There's a picture of all of us wearing them. Or at least I wore them. I think I wore them almost the whole weekend.
I remember I got interviewed for something for MC Frontalot's documentary, and I took them off. Like, no, put those back on. I was like, all right.
Let me set my snowballs down really quick.
Dude, I still have like a giant box in storage full of PAX swag. Just like 50 like Rockstar stickers and just like all kinds of
I
swag.
threw it out about. I finally went through that about 3 years ago when I moved. And I was moving from Tacoma to Seattle, and I was like, I have nowhere to put this in my new place, because I was moving to a smaller apartment, and I didn't have storage. My prior 2 apartments had I had a storage unit attached to it, so I would just throw this big box of like convention lanyards and stickers and other garbage. And I just did a cursory glance online, see if it's going for anything. If it wasn't, I just threw it. I had so many like flyers for like random things, like, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. Dude, I was putting Rockstar stickers on everything.
Yeah. Valorant fans troll Elon Musk, and they chant, "Bring back Twitter" at Valorant Championships Grand Finals in Los Angeles on Saturday. I didn't know. I knew Elon Musk was a video game fan, but I did not know he was big on Valorant right now.
His kid was there.
Ah, so he took his son.
Yeah.
Ah, nice. I saw the video, and basically right in between games, they flashed him and his son up on screen, and there was like just a big uproar of like people being loud, people booing, and then chants of
it was "Bring back Twitter." Bring back Twitter. Like,
you gotta love gamers.
Second time this has happened within the last year for Musk, because when he got pulled onto stage by Dave Chappelle, and just immediately was met with like tons and tons of boos.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ben Affleck was also at the Valorant.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't get booed, so I didn't know that he was there.
he was. There's a video of him just kind of casually walking by someone, and they said like, "Oh, like, you know, who are you playing right now or whatever?" And he's just like, "I don't know. they just nerfed everyone, and so he's like frustrated and just kept walking.
Such a gamer
good.
response. I love it. I love it.
So yeah, then they nerfed Jet, and he just like walked on.
Ben Affleck, big on the Valorant. Diablo 4 bonus XP weekend has just been announced. And coincidentally, it's coinciding with the Starfield early access launch. It's going to be happening that same weekend, but 25% XP boost, gold. It's tempting to get back on. It's tempting to get in there. John, what are you going to be playing? Because you could be playing Starfield, or you could get your character a few more levels closer to 100 and defeating Uber Lilith. It's a hard...
Yeah, no, this is like obviously very strategic by Blizzard. I think if they would have done maybe like double XP, double gold, people would be like, okay, hold on. Let me go do this really quick, especially with the gold, because once you in the end game, like gold is by far like the resource that I'm lacking. Like I just never have enough gold, it seems like, to get the enchants and items, the affixes that I want on my items. So as far as what I'll like actually be playing, like I'm traveling this week, and so I probably won't be able to play either one. So it kind of sucks. It's bad timing right now.
And you have early access too, right? And you won't even be able to early access it?
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
That's a tough.
But I am gonna try and get my Necromancer to 100 as soon as I can, and then play some Starfield, because I am kind of excited for Starfield. I don't know. I like the Bethesda games, the futuristic Bethesda games, I should say.
Yeah, I'm tempted to get Game Pass and give it a shot. I know I get raked over the coals for not having Game Pass by more people than just Henry, but
well,
I'm tempted.
Microsoft sneakily...
That's our next one. Do you want to say it? It's literally our next topic.
Oh, yeah. They sneakily kind of removed the $1 Game Pass trial. You used to be able to try Game Pass for, I think, 14 days for just $1. And that deal magically went away. I think it's gone away before, and then they brought it back. But now it's gone away right before this, probably Xbox's largest release of the year, I would say.
Consoles, Xbox Series X console sales on Amazon have gone up like 1,000% or something insane, like an insane number. They're going through the roof. I saw an article talking about it, and everyone's buying them up, and they're calling it the Starfield effect. And I remember we talked about this maybe episode 2 or 3, how Phil Spencer said, the head of Xbox said, we're not trying to make, like, our goal isn't to just make great games to sell consoles, along the lines of that. And I was like, I don't remember the exact quote. We'll have to clip it in, but he was essentially saying, like, we're not trying to, like, beat Sony in a console war by, like, making better games or something like that. And I was like, or making games to sell consoles. And I was like, I hard disagreed. I'm like, no, like, coming from Halo and that legacy, you make a good game and it will sell your consoles. And I think we're seeing that with Starfield for sure.
Yeah, there hasn't, it seems like a very, very, very hyped release. There hasn't been, I don't know if there's been like a console exclusive for either of the current gen systems that's like been a huge like system seller. For sure not for the Series X. Like PlayStation 5 has some exclusives, but not in like the you see an uptick in sales, like a significant uptick in sales just for the game. It's like even like Final Fantasy 16, I don't think that really had any effect on PlayStation 5 sales, maybe like a little bit, but that you would think is like a major system seller, and a huge exclusive, and it, didn't do much.
Yep, Starfield hype is real. We'll have plenty to talk about when it drops. Lots of news. Analog reveals a new limited edition glow-in-the-dark version of their handheld. The company is launching a glow-in-the-dark handheld called Pocket Glow, which the company says will be available in highly limited quantities. Shocker from Analog there. Now, didn't see that one coming. $250 each. It will be available for sale starting September 1st. It looks so sick, but I've given up kind of hopes and dreams of ever getting Analogs because they can't get production.
They're not
moving.
that bad. No, they're not that hard to get because they're going to have every single Analog product released. They're not that hard. They're not that hard to get.
But
you just have to.
You gotta. Yeah. What do you have to do? What do you have to do to get them, Henry?
You like when the Pocket when the second set of orders for the Pocket went up, they were open pre-orders for like a month.
How long did it take to get delivered?
That's a different story. That's a different story. But that was what the Pocket. When I ordered my Super NT, because I was following Analog before they became like, oh my god, the hugest thing, right? Like when I got the Super NT, that was open for like 4 months before they started shipping, and like you could still order them like after they had started shipping too. They didn't sell out for the first wave. And then same deal with like my Mega SG from them as well. I remember because I ran into a scenario where I had one ordered, and then like I wasn't going to be getting that one anymore because it was being sent to like my ex was taking it. And so like a week or so before the Mega SG started shipping, they still had orders open, and I was able to order my new one to my house. And so like I haven't had any issue getting Analog products, but I know that with the Analog Pocket, when it first came out, they sold out instantly, mostly from bots, and they seem to have gotten that taken care of because they were able to get have a wide open pre-order for the second wave of Analog Pockets, and I was able to get in on it, and then that was still open for like a month. And then when I pre-ordered my when they announced the TurboGrafx Duo release back in May, I was able to get that easily. I was in the middle of like getting ready for a wedding, and I was able to step aside when that launched, and I was able to place my order. It's not that hard. You just have to like pay attention.
So what you're saying is it's not hard to get them, but sometimes they'll just take a long time to get to you once you order them.
They after COVID started, they started having a lot of issues with their actual production runs of like getting that stuff like together, because before that, it was like a couple months. It was like 3 months, 4 months. Everything was like on track. They're like ordering or reopening up pre-orders in, November, and they start launching in March. And then they launched in March, and I had no issue with my stuff beforehand. But I remember it was like December when I ordered my Analog Pocket, and then it was like Q3 of like the following year, so I had to wait like literally like 9 months to get the damn thing. So, but like I have no idea when I'm gonna get my Turbo Duo. I have no idea when that's coming.
Oh, that one looks nice.
Yeah,
nice.
But yeah, this limited edition glow in the dark one looks really cool. But I also leave my Analog Pocket docked 99% of the time. I don't take it anywhere ever. So, except when I put the Grimace game on it. Like,
Evil geniuses has responded to backlash about their Valorant Champs merch and are working on new stuff in the near future. So they won Valorant Championships and they dropped some merch to celebrate, and it was not well received. It basically just looks like a picture of them and it says champions on it. And people were not very happy, especially, Evil Genius's fans, for that kind of merch.
Graphic design is my passion.
Yeah. It feels very, I'm gonna say Walmart-y. Like, no thought went into it, really, it seems.
Well, and it seems like, too, just from a design standpoint, like a lot of the just like gaming style and like clothing that I see, it's more like streetwear, and like there's logos or writing on the sleeves, or there's stuff on like the lower parts of the hoodie, or this is just the back of a hoodie with just a single square screen printed image on it. So like, I don't even, is the front blank?
I
there's a t-shirt, it's just a square on it. Like,
it just shows a square. Yeah. Oh, it has the on the hoodie, it's got the Evil Geniuses like logo in the dead center of the chest, like right here. It looks like a yearbook photo.
Yeah. It really does. It looks like if you walked into Zoomies and there's an Evil Geniuses drop, and like this was like this is like all that's left on the rack. All the good stuff is gone, and then this is left on the rack, and you're like, oh, well, I like Evil Genius, so I guess I'll get it.
This looks like if you went to Zoomies and they had an Evil Geniuses drop, and it was just like blink blonk, like on like a little full sign on the table that then had all the merch. Like, you wouldn't be able to buy this design. This looks like an ad, and that's the problem. It straight up just looks like an ad.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the rest of the stuff in their store, none of it seems very good to me.
No, it doesn't. All of it seems very. It reminds me of like Red versus Blue merchandise from like 2005. Where it's like a single quote, like it's like you get it or you don't get it, like like that's it.
They dropped an apology after tons of backlash, as you do. They made a statement, and they said, "We realize our champ merch design is not up to standard. In all transparency, here's the excuse: we pulled it together as we're in the midst of switching merchandise provider. Thank you for your feedback that continually helps us get better. Back to celebrating for now, but we'll be working internally to update the shop with larger scope champ capsule, working in collaboration with blah, 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 blah."
So take it off your website then.
Yeah. That's the thing. They wanted to do something really quickly and grab the cash, but then it's like, no. Like, if you can't do it, just say it's okay. I think people would respect it if you said, hey, look, we're actually right now, we're in between merch, like we're in between merch stuff right now, so we want to give you guys something good, and we think Jeffrey, who's not even our designer guy, but he works as a video editor, we're not going to have him design something. We're going to get a real designer, and we're going to actually give you something good. And I think fans would be like, yeah, sick, as long as you drop it within a month or two, it's going to be okay. You're not the world champs anymore.
Let's be really, really honest here. In comparison to the rest of their merchandise, it's not like this is much worse. Like, it's literally, look at it. It's all just like blank t-shirt, white text. And so like, I'm sure Jeffrey the intern thought he was doing a great job when he found the Photoshop filter. Like,
his best shirt yet.
This is the most in-depth Evil Geniuses design yet. This merch is going to be amazing. And then,
I mean, I know all these esports teams are like bleeding cash, but you could also go like the NFL, NBA route, and you have it all done and designed before they win. And so as soon as it happens, order now, champions. You know how they have, as soon as
That's
the Super Bowl's
true.
over,
Yes.
they've got the shirts. You can get the DVD of the game, all the blah, 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 blah.
100%.
All it takes is a little bit of planning, faith
I was
in
about
your
to
team.
say
That's
something
actually
along those
so.
lines.
That's actually so smart. Yeah. Now I don't feel bad for them at all. This was 100% completely avoidable. All they had to do, like if they knew they were going to the championships, like the moment they win the semifinals, they're like, we're going to the finals. They have a designer on standby. Design us a championship tee, championship hoodie, championship this, championship that. If like we'll pay you for it, and like if it goes, we run it to print. If not, we scrap it.
Okay, but here's my thing. Again, look at the amount of work that went into this design in comparison to everything else they did.
Yeah,
I would put
all
money
their
down.
merch is terrible.
They did exactly what we're saying.
No.
This is the byproduct of them doing that. Because compare it. Just compare it. Compare it to all the other stuff that they have on sale. Compare it to the 10th fan, Potter Supremacy, and Don't Care t-shirts, and the bald buff dad hat that just is literally just a bucket hat that says bald buff in white text, like the goofy trucks hat I wore last week on the podcast.
Yeah.
Hey there, gamers.
It's so weird that having a shirt that says "Don't Care" Potter bald, but yeah, that's just such like
it's
so bottom line. Like the JoJo.
This looks like this was already pre-planned. Like this is our championship graphic. If we win, this is going live right there. And they like look at it. Just compare it. Like it just the design isn't good. That's the thing. Like you can excuse when it's like when you have like no real design with your Don't Care t-shirt. No one cares about the design because it's literally just text. But like once you start trying to have actual design and you're bad at it, it sticks out way more.
Yes, 100%.
Hey there, gamers. Your Evil Geniuses team just won the Valorant World Championships. Order your championship package today. Bring home a piece of history.
When they said they're switching to a new manufacturer, is it somebody that can produce more than 2 colors like on a print?
Yeah, I think when it comes to esports merch, I think one of the very best doing it right now is 100 Thieves. I see stuff that they put out and I think, I would buy some of that.
I mean, even if you go compare to other stuff, like if you compare to like, Cloud9 or FaZe, like there's a lot more stuff going on their graphics than a block Arial font that says "Don't Care."
Right? Yeah, that's pretty bad. I didn't see all those until you brought it up, but that's... I mean, I am not a designer, and I could design something way better than that.
Like, it's... So they had their other championships shirt, t-shirt that was just a white t-shirt. It had a similar graphic, and maybe that one was better received, so they figured they could just do the same thing. Yeah.
It's bizarre to me that you win a world championship and that is the level of merch you're putting out. That's just it's wild, man. That's wild. Couldn't it be me? My merch is better than that, dude. And my merch is just self-done.
Honestly, if they put out a hoodie that had on the front the Evil Geniuses logo right here, and on the back it just says Valorant World Champions, then their logo, and then 2023, it would look better.
Yeah.
As sad as that is, like actually the whole just plain white text on the thing, sure, it's better than what you got.
Tennessee man who allegedly stole and tried to sell copies of Starfield has been arrested, charged with a felony and misdemeanors for theft. He leaked 40 minutes of gameplay from Bethesda's upcoming RPG, and he later posted a video on Twitter, which is, I think, partly how he got caught, saying, "Hey man, I meant no harm by it. You know, it's a good game. It's a good game. I didn't mean any harm by it." But it's not so much the leaking, although that's bad. It's the fact that he stole the game.
Yeah.
What do you think the proper legal punishment should be for someone who steals a game and leaks gameplay of it online before it's allowed to be?
There's a lot of different variables there. If they obtain the game, like, I've played some games ahead of time, and I was legally allowed to have them at that time, right?
Right.
If I were to put out footage, that's different than if, like, I stole physical copies from some, which is
what happened here. It was stolen, and like he posted pictures of having it, and he bought some, and he was trying to sell them to other people. He just made like a lot of bad choices. Because if I go to Target right now, and I'm not claiming some moral high ground, if I went to Target like last week and I saw a copy of Starfield, I would try and buy it. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't go and I wouldn't post everything about it. I would go home and I would play it and I would enjoy it. And then once like it got released, I would say, yeah, I've been playing it for a week or whatever. So I think where he slipped up was like, hey, you got a lucky break. Like, well, first of all, you shouldn't have stolen it. But if there were copies at your local spot, you could have just bought one. Yeah. Maybe so, they weren't selling it, and he tried. The details haven't fully been released, so they could have been like, no, we're not selling it.
We're talking about a lot of different scenarios here, because if he stole multiple copies, here's where it gets really stupid, right? This game's not out yet. You have stolen a bunch of copies from someplace. Someplace is missing a bunch of copies, so we could kind of determine who came into contact with them for these missing copies, right? We can figure that out pretty easily if the company, either Bethesda, Microsoft, or whatever store, let's say it is Target, wants to do an investigation to figure out where did these copies go missing from? What point in the supply chain did they go missing? And then if all of a sudden, if the Herpa Tennessee Target is like missing 40 copies of Starfield, and also on Herpa Tennessee Facebook Marketplace, a guy's selling copies of Starfield weeks before. It's kind of obvious there, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, not very smart. If he sold, if he, depending on how many he stole, if he stole over $8,000 worth of games, that is grand theft. That is that's a big thing.
I don't think it was. Yeah. I don't think it was that many, but I don't think something like this, my take is, should ruin someone's life. But I think you should get hit with a fine, and that's it. Like, hit him with a fine. Bethesda, I don't really care about how Bethesda feels about it, but the stealing is where I'm like, yep, you should be hit with a fine. Stealing's wrong, and it should hurt just enough to where you're like, oh, I definitely don't want to do that again.
I know. I want to go back to the days when 7-Eleven was breaking street dates for Halo 3. That was good. That's how big Halo 3 was. 7-Eleven had copies and were selling them early.
7-Eleven was trying to get into the gaming world for a while. Remember, even 2 years later, they were selling games. They kept accidentally breaking Street Date because their clerks are not trained.
Do you know when Halo 3's coming out? I think we got a couple copies. It's supposed to be in like 3 weeks or so. You're getting a big gulp too with that? Yeah.
Like they broke the street date on Madden, and that was like a big deal. Like a few years, you know. I think that was like actually when they were like, okay, nope, you know what, 7-Eleven, you can't figure this out. You don't got this. You can't do this.
I was at college, and the 7-Eleven by it that we would walk to had them before Halo 3 came out, and I was a broke college student, so I didn't buy it. Because I had a friend who had the connection at Microsoft, so I was getting like a $15 copy of the game, and so I was like, I can't afford this, but I'm getting my copy. It's only a few days, but they were like there, and I was just like, dude,
that's so crazy.
You guys have these already, and they're just out.
It's crazy that like their register doesn't automatically like flag at land work retail. If you try to buy something ahead of street date, it was like, bonk, you can't buy this. This is like, do not sell before X date, and then like the system would ring in at like a gajillion dollars.
Yeah, I think even when I worked at Blockbuster, our system had something like that.
It's a really simple system. It's a very simple thing to implement into a point of sale system. So that's why it's just really funny that 7-Eleven was like, I don't know, man. I guess we just won't do this whole video game thing.
Have you guys ever gotten lucky like that and been able to snag a game before release date, or run into one, or found one being sold that was being sold early?
I remember when the NES Classic came out, the Best Buy I worked at, I knew exactly how many we got in. We had 36 units in. And I remember when we pulled up the next morning, there was already a line, and we're like, oh. And like, as we're like walking up in line, I'm counting how many people. I'm like, there's like 34. I'm like, oh geez. And then like there's other people walking, so I sprint. They don't know. They just think I'm excited to get in line. They don't know that I'm like, I need to be in front of these people, or otherwise I will not get the NES Classic. Yes. So I get in line, and my buddy Matt is behind me, and then he is number 36, and didn't even want one, but because he knew he was 36, he's like, I guess I'm gonna get it now. He was just there because he drove me. But like,
for those of you listening at home, the reason that story is significant is because Best Buy, typically, I think almost always, they won't tell you how many units are available. It's kept hush hush. And I remember November 14th last year on my birthday, the Series X, the Halo Series X was coming out, and I was scraping Twitter for months before, and I went into the Best Buy because a Twitter leak basically said Best Buys, across California or whatever in this area are getting a shipment, and I literally went into the Best Buy that morning or afternoon, and I just said, hey, are you guys, can people line up to get Series X's tomorrow? And he was like, yep, we got some in. And I said, okay, cool. Do you know how many you're getting in? He's like, nope. And I looked at him, and he like smirked, and I was like, so but you're just not allowed to say? And he was like, nope, there's, nope. All I can tell you is we're getting some in. So then later that night, I come back, and there's a line of probably like 30 people already.
Jeez.
And I got there at like 8 p.m. No. Yeah, maybe around 7 p.m. And they were being released at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. the next day. And so it was like a 12-hour wait at that point, maybe 13. And I went in, and I was like, hey, I was just about to wait in line. I was just wondering if you know how many units you have of the, Series X, because I don't really want to wait 13 hours, to be the 31st person and you only got 30. Mind you, some stores were only getting like 20 Xboxes. You know, this was back when there was a massive famine for these things. So it definitely wasn't like a promised guaranteed thing by any stretch. So I'm thinking anything more than 25 is going to be a risk. And I remember like I came back out and then there's more people in line. So there was like 45 people at that point. And I'm like, oh, dude, I really want a Series X, but I really don't want to wait 13 hours overnight just to, you know, get up there and be like, sorry, they're all out, which is crazy to me. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. And so I was like 46th in line, waited 13 hours, got up there, and there was like 50 Series X's. So I was right at the tail end, and there was people who waited all night with me, just a little bit behind me, and they got turned away. And yeah, that's how I got my Series X. And so Best Buy doesn't play around. Do not play around.
It's a security thing, you know. Security thing, robbery wise, like. You don't let anybody know how much of your inventory you have.
Yeah.
But also, you know, yeah.
Yep.
I remember when I camped out for the Wii. That was a good time.
Yeah.
Was that Walmart?
Yeah, that was the Walmart by your parents' house.
Yeah.
Me and Raymond were first in line, but then we went to
grab some food.
Your guys' house. You guys were having some kind of party. I don't remember why. But we walked over to your house since it was just down the street, like a block away. Hung out there, and by the time we got over there was like 3 more dudes in line. Whatever. Still number like
the Wii.
4 and 5 in line for the Wii. Yeah.
What a console.
Yeah. Next time there's a console worth camping out for, we'll do a podcast live at the console
Is there even
launch.
consoles worth camping out for anymore? Because the only reason the Series X you camped out for is because freaking COVID had made it like impossible to find.
Yeah, and it was like a Halo version too. I was like, oh, this looks sick.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. Like back in like the all the other Halo editions, you could just like walk into Best Buy and pick up no issue.
Yeah.
It's not like it was like that limited.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
We'll see if that time ever comes or if it's a era past.
Yeah. All right. Anything else for the good of the pod? We'll take next week off and launch our new season strong. It's gonna be great. Future
can't
is
wait.
bright. GG's.
GG's.
GG's.